Hey there, everyone. Welcome into the Ben Maynard program. Thanks for being here. Before we get rolling tonight, a little bit of business to take care of. As you know, this program is available on multiple podcast platforms like Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. That's right. On the iHeartRadio app now. Yes, of course. Remember, we talked about that last week. Or just search the Ben Maynard program. Do your thing, pick your option, and go with it. However, you know the deal. If you can't resist this right here, and maybe a little bit of that over there, and you're watching on YouTube, then please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. I like your comments and I reply to your comments. That would be greatly appreciated. Last but not least, follow me on Instagram. Simply Ben Maynard Program, all one word. So plenty of ways to take in this show for your dancing and blah, 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 blah. For your dancing and listening pleasure.
I haven't even started drinking yet.
I know, I haven't even started. Jeez. With that, what we're going to do tonight is, you see the table's pretty well, I shouldn't say it's clear. It's just not as much clutter as usual. We're going to do a little bit of tequila tasting tonight. Jim and I, you can see brother Jim is here. Say hello to everyone, Jim.
Hi, everyone, Jim.
Yeah, there you go. And he's like a trained seal. He'll do whatever I say. But we're going to taste some tequila tonight. It is, we're in the middle of summer, middle of July, and a lot of people are out doing barbecues, parties, that kind of thing. And we want to introduce some summertime tequila to you. So what better time to take part, or partake, I should say, in some fine tequilas, right?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby's right.
And I'm looking at a few of them.
There's quite a few. And we will introduce you to everything that we have over here. It was way too much to put on the table, and it just would have looked like a big old giant mess. So I set them off to the side, and we'll bring them to you one at a time. We're going to talk about these tequilas. We'll kind of give you a little bit of a history on tequila. Now, I won't say that we're experts, but I will say we're connoisseurs. And we've done a couple of, I don't know, 2 or 3 tequila tastings, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've done that, whether it's here at the house or at someone else's home, and we really get into it. We like to just really dive in, learn as much as we can about tequila itself, and we take it pretty seriously. We want to take note of the coloring, the flavorings, all the different particulates that might be in it.
Aroma.
Yeah, aroma as well.
We probably got, I know there's 3 of the finest that I've ever tasted.
Yeah.
On this table right here.
Yeah, no, I think, Jim, that what we have on that table is like cream of the crop. I mean, it just is. It really is. As far as our tequila tasting is concerned, and not to brag, because like I said, we're not drunks or anything, but we've tasted a lot of tequila over the years. So yeah, we're going to take you down a tequila road, and it, as you can see right here, I'm going to stand up right there. It's tequila time. But before we dive into that, we're going to do a little bit of, in between the tasting and all that, and giving you some information on these fine tequilas. I'm going to hit you with some regular content that we might go through on the show as well. Okay, so we're going to mix it all in, and stay with us because it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. We're not trying to get hammered here. We're just trying to introduce you to some fine tequila, and you know what? Maybe you'll try this stuff out too. What do you think? Right?
Yeah, and the one that is my favorite I mean, it's not going to break the bank.
I think, and we'll talk about that too. I think everything that's on the, well, none of them will break the bank, but there is one or two of them that I would say are a little pricey
Because of the bottle?
because of the name.
Oh,
Because of the name, and maybe the bottle too, but primarily because of the name. And we'll get into that as we move along. So here's what we're gonna do first, okay? When it comes to tequila, I think most everybody, but in case you don't know, there are different levels of tequila. There are different I don't want to say types, but there, tequila is like wine. It has different aging and that type of stuff. And so, for lack of a better term, yeah, there are different levels of tequila. You have your clear, which depending on the manufacturer, it'll be Blanco, or in the case of Patron, it'll be silver, or in the case of one that we're going to show you right now, it'll be plata. So those kind of things. That's all clear. And with that stuff,
in other words, they distill it and they bottle it. There's no aging involved.
That's it. You're right. You're right. Distill and right into the bottle it goes. And so that's would be the first one that we're going to introduce to you. And it's this'll be one where I've got two of these Blancos here, or in the case of this is Clase Azul. This is their Plata. Okay. This one here runs about, I think it runs, hang on a second, folks. Got something on the screen here. Boom, got it. Okay. This one here runs about $129. And if you ask me, it's a little expensive for a Blanco or a Plata.
Is that a 750?
Yeah, this is 750 milliliter. What we're going to show you is, and when we talk about average cost, it's going to all be 750 milliliter bottles. Okay. But yeah, I think that's a little bit high for this, primarily because there's nothing to it. Distilled into the bottle, and that's it. Doesn't mean it isn't good. It doesn't mean they didn't do a great job, but there's nothing special about it. And it's generally, when you're aging something, is when your cost of that might go up due to the fact that when you age, you lose volume on a product, because if you're aging it in oak barrels, which
it evaporates.
Right. It evaporates or soaks into the wood, that type of stuff. So that helps to drive the cost up as well. But anyway, so let's pop this one open.
I just want a little bit of that.
Yeah. No, we're going to do like little tastes here, because I think we have, honestly, folks, I think we have like 8 bottles over here on the table. And if we were to take like full 2-ounce pours, Jim and I might not finish the show.
Well, we would crawl out of the room.
We probably would pass out.
Yeah, I'm just not a big fan of the silver.
I know you're not. But for the audience here,
yeah,
let's, kind of.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's good enough.
It looks like. Actually, here, that's a little bit.
No, I'll take it.
Oh, okay.
I'll take it.
All right.
I won't be a wuss.
Okay.
Actually,
See, I poured a tiny bit less for myself. Tiny bit.
Well, I'll take the tiny bit.
Okay,
less.
go ahead.
I'll swap you.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I'm not a tequila, that bourbon's my gig. One of the things that detracts is when I get that big whiff of blue agave.
Yeah.
That's an indication of.
Well, and that's the thing.
And I don't.
Go ahead.
This smells sweet. This smells.
It's got it. I don't know if you have tasted this one, and I don't know. We're going to taste another Blanco after this too. I don't know if you have had these ones, but the one thing with a Blanco, and I'm not going to go back and forth between Blanco and Plata. It's Blanco, okay? It's white. It's clear. Okay. So the thing with that,
not to get confused, they have a thing called Cristalino.
Yes,
which they'll take that really expensive been in a barrel, and and for whatever reason they'll put it through a filtration, just to get it clear.
I think it goes through like a charcoal filtration or something, and it takes all that color out of it.
Color and some of the flavor.
And it'll look exactly like this, just like water.
They call it a crystallino.
Right.
I'm not a fan of that. No, it's good. No, it's good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah. But we did have one at one of our tastings.
1800. That was good.
And it was an extra añejo, but it was a crystallina. Mm-hmm. And it actually was really good. Mm-hmm. It was really good. It didn't, as far as we grade all this stuff, like I said, we take this stuff seriously and we graded everything, and it wasn't everyone's favorite. And we've got everyone's favorite here on the table. So we will have that one tonight. But mostly the thing about a Blanco is you taste a lot of the agave, and you don't taste, yes, alcohol and agave is the big thing that you get out of a Blanco when it comes to flavor. But, and a lot of times
I'm surprised
it'll smell either like agave or alcohol or a combination of the two. But I will say this, and Jim's surprised on this one.
What's the cheap that you drink like when you're in high school, the cheap tequila that you drink shots?
It's usually Cuervo Gold.
No,
or Cuervo Especial. No, because everybody was always getting Jose Cuervo Gold. Okay. Or I think they called it Gold, but it was Jose Cuervo Especial because it was like, $10 a bottle way back when.
This is actually, I'm surprised. I don't get that big, nasty big hit of blue agave or of agave. Yeah. And now the only thing it's a little bit hot.
Mm. Yeah, you get a little bit of heat and a little spice on the front side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and but as far as flavor, you're not going to get a heavy alcohol or a heavy agave flavor on it. It is, and classic.
They should age that.
Classic. Well, we do have an aged one.
No, that product right there, they should age it. Because imagine if it's this good clear.
Yeah, but okay. So let's talk about that. How can you certainly can't age it in a copper kettle or a stainless steel kettle. It has to be in a barrel.
Right.
But if you aged it in just a straight, no char white oak barrel, would that be something you could do where you wouldn't lose this flavor that it has here?
Mostly what they get is they will buy used bourbon barrels.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And so you're going to pull, that's where they're pulling the color and some of the vanillas and the stuff out of that.
Right.
But I mean, if this is,
but yes, as far as look, folks, I know when I first started drinking tequila, I remember I went to, I'd gone to Cancun, and I'm not, as you know, I'm not a beer drinker. I don't drink wine. I don't smoke cigars. I don't do any of that stuff. And I thought, well, I want to try something. I want to be a connoisseur of something. And I'm going to Mexico. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, let's tequila. Why not? It's the wine of Mexico. So I remember dragging my son-in-law at the time all around Cancun, and we went into every liquor store, bar, all over the place. And we were there for 5 days, and he was drunk most of that time. And I just talked to every guy behind a counter or a cash register or behind the bar. I said, tell me about tequila. What do you like and what should I try? And they would, try this, try that. I don't know how many different tequilas I tried, but I started to find out what I liked and what I didn't like. And like most people too, you kind of cut your teeth. If you're in the United States, you cut your teeth on Patron, oh yeah, Patron. It's like, oh yeah, it's the greatest stuff. Well, it really isn't. Okay.
And what's the name of this?
This is Clase Azul. Clase Azul. Yes. Okay. But this is for a Blanco.
Azul
this is
means blue.
Azul. Right. Yeah. Azul. Yeah. Right. Blue. This is dynamite.
And this, would you say this was a 120 a bottle?
It used to be about 6 or 8 years ago. It was about $69 a bottle, and it's like twice that now.
I'd like to learn what they're doing.
what they're doing to get that flavor profile.
So you hit it on the nose. You said spicy. It's got some spice.
Yeah.
I get spice, and then I get heat on the back end, but I get a really good mouthfeel.
Do you get a sweetness on the backside of it too?
Let me see. Hold on.
Okay. Not like a caramel sweetness or a vanilla or anything, but like almost like a sugar sweetness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is some good
I know it is. It is. And so because of that,
you've opened my mind.
I'm gonna put a dab of water in my glass and rinse it out.
Wow.
I got like 120 of these tasting glasses, and I wasn't gonna break a case out to bring them up here for brother Jim and I. We're just gonna rinse them out. But since we're talking about Blancos, we've got one more we're going to bring to you. Okay. Stand by.
Is it better? Do you think it's better than this?
I would say this one here that we're going to taste right now, I think is every bit as good as the Clase Azul. And depending on exactly what you like, you might think it's better.
Now, one of the things I noticed that bottle has opened, so it's been exposed to air a while. Sometimes that will change the flavor. Okay.
Yeah.
But whatever this, I'm shocked. I'm really shocked.
Yeah. It is good. And what I'm doing here, people, I'm writing down the different tequilas that we're tasting. And this is the, oh yeah. Okay. I was just looking at this bottle because, as you can see, it's very clear, very, very clear. But they call this one a silver, not a Blanco. This one here, and I promise you tonight, folks, that most everything we try, you've never even heard of. You've never heard of these. I would say the one that you've heard of for sure is the Clase Azul. And that's why it's so expensive. But I promise you, you haven't heard of Sin Rival.
Did you get this at Total Wines and More?
No. This one here, Sin Rival, right there. Which, what does that mean, people? For all you Spanish speakers out there, without rival. That's what it means, without rival. And yeah, I almost can't argue with that. This one is really, really, really good. It is really good.
You said it's better than...
Well, first off, I think before I had this one, the Plata was, I would have said hands down best Blanco out there. But then I tried this one. I was like, oh, wow. I don't know about that.
Okay.
So let's see. Let's see if my taste buds remember.
Good. Ooh, it looks like it's nice and thick.
I'm going to keep that to myself. So, yeah, it's just really good stuff.
This has got a interesting, I definitely don't get the blue agave flavor.
Right.
I mean, nose on it.
Yeah.
I get some kind of, I don't know what that weird
I agree with that.
It's got some kind of weird smell. I don't know what it is. Okay.
But talk to me, Goose.
Okay. So agave, I think. Okay, so this is not as hot and it's not as spicy, but I get more agave in it, and I like the first one better.
Do you?
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely.
I agree with you. Straight out of the gate, not as spicy, not as much heat.
Definitely.
It's a nice warmth.
It's smooth.
It's a nice warmth.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to any kind of liquor, folks, any kind of whiskey or spirit, let's put it that way, any kind of alcohol, okay, spirits. You don't want to have a burn in your chest. You want a nice warm feeling. If it burns, forget it. Okay.
Got a good, I mean, so it's got the finish changes and pops back up on you with a different flavor
It
altogether.
and again, like the Clase Azul, it has a sweetness to it as well. Yeah, it has a sweetness to it. It does have a different bit of a aroma. I guess maybe less flowery, but it's
so the Clase Azul was spicier.
Yeah,
had a little bit of heat.
Yeah,
but for me, the taste was way better than this.
Okay.
I'm gonna let it set for a second. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit funky. I mean, I don't know what it is. The Clase Azul. It just, to me,
it's pretty dynamite, isn't it?
Yeah, I like that.
Plata. I do really enjoy this Sin Rival. I really honestly do. I would drink it any day. That bottle right there, where I said the Clase Azul Plata was about $129 on average.
You got it where? Bevmo or Total Wines and More? Or
you know what? I
liquor?
think I don't remember where I bought the Plata. I honestly don't.
Specialty liquor stores.
The Plata is not as available. Not as many people carry it as their Reposado, which when you see the bottle, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, folks. I may have bought it at Ramirez.
Okay.
I may have bought it at Ramirez.
Downtown.
Not the one downtown. And I know you people across the country, you don't know what Ramirez liquor is. But it's a big giant liquor outlet. Here it's in East LA, and they have an importer's license and all that stuff. So you can get stuff right out of Mexico as well. You don't have to just get the US stuff. It's really, really cool. And we do a lot of our tequila shopping at Ramirez Liquor, but I may have gotten it there, but I may have gotten it at their Pico Rivera location. I just don't recall. But yeah, where the Plata was about $129. The Sin Rival, and I got the Sin Rival at Ramirez.
Okay.
I did buy it at Ramirez, and I want to say that one was about $89.
Okay.
So a huge difference in price. It might have been $79, to be honest, but it's right in that it's right in that area. And even though tequila's gone up a lot the last 5-6 years,
I think all the spirits have.
Well, yeah, but there was a big jump in tequila, and I don't remember why it really started to jump. It had something to do with Mexico and the agave plant or the agave crop, but usually a Blanco that's decent, we'll say decent, okay, is going to start out at about $49, somewhere right around there, about $49. So you can see that these here that we've shown you so far, they're no joke. They are a little more expensive, but they're no joke, and they're so worth it. So worth it. I mean, they're really, really, really good. And if you're not into the tequila that's more aged, such as a Reposado, and we'll get into that. We only brought one tonight, or an Añejo or an Extra Anejo. If you're not into all that aging and you really want to treat yourself, I would go with one of these two anytime. Yeah, go ahead.
I just said the first one. I like.
Yeah. Okay, so since we're going to go kind of in order between no age and we'll go up the ladder, we'll get right into this one here.
And go ahead. As a tidbit of information, it takes 7 years for that agave cactus to mature to a point where they can harvest it.
Right. You know, I may have to have Catherine bring us up some more water. Give her a holler. Bring us up some water. Oh, by the way, before we get into the next one, just a little additional content for tonight's show. You know that I'm a huge Kiss fan, and I would be remiss if I didn't wish a happy birthday to the Fox, Eric Carr. Yes, Eric Carr passed away back in 1991, but today would have been his 74th birthday, and Eric was a tremendous addition to Kiss, filling in for the first original member to depart, Peter Criss. And Eric Carr brought such a tremendous he was a great addition to the band, let's put it that way. Great singer. He also wrote. He played multi-instruments. There were some recordings in studio. He was playing bass. Gene wasn't. It was Eric. And he was a tremendous player. So happy birthday to Eric Carr, 74. Yes, would have been 74 today. So, all right. Next up, this bottle may look a little familiar. One, because of the shape. It looks just like the one we showed you earlier. But most of you have probably seen this in a bar or in a restaurant. This is Clase Azul Reposado.
Oh.
Now, what is Reposado? It means rested. And generally, a Reposado will go for anywhere from like 1 month to, they usually say 12 months, but there have been some manufacturers that can even push it to 13 months before they bottle it. And
so this will answer the question that I had. If that was so good in clear, what would it be aged? That's going to be aged right there.
Yes. This I believe this one has like 12 months age on it. Okay. Now you'll see it's got a little bit of color, but not much. But what you should notice in this is, let's see, let me get some here. All right. You should notice a little bit of, oh yeah, right. That's not a bad idea there, brother.
I don't know can you see that? I can't see it.
Yeah, you can see it right up against that paper towel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good job. It's got a little bit of color. So it's taking that color from the barrels or barrel that it's aged in. And you might get some notes of caramel or vanilla.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
You know what's so funny? You've never had this one before, have you?
I've never.
I
don't drink tequila.
Yeah, I know, but when we started doing the tastings, we went straight to the top and we went with extra añejos. Yeah. Añejos and extra añejos. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Now,
oh my gosh.
It's got a really good nose on it.
Yes, it does.
It does have a really, really good nose. And I'm a little plugged up tonight. I don't know why. I'm kind of plugged up on the right side here.
What's the cost of that bottle?
Now, we'll get into that in a second as soon as I take my sip here.
Wow. So, oh my gosh. Oh boy.
Spicy though. Do you get spicy out of it?
Not as much as.
Oh, see, I think it's more spicy than the first two, which is strange because the other two, the Blancos, they distilled and go right into the bottle.
So the spice is very, it comes in really late.
Okay.
And so it's doesn't have as much heat. You're picking up stuff from the barrel for sure. I don't know if it's toffee or caramel. What the hell that is?
Probably a little bit of caramel or vanilla. Do you pick up agave on the very back end of it?
It's there. It's there, but
It comes in. I mean, it comes and then it's gone.
Yeah, it disappears real quick.
Right,
And
right.
it's very subdued.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm.
Now you asked me about cost. Now I'll use the same time frame, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. And yes, of course, everything goes up, but there was a period of time where pricing on tequila and probably most spirits was very stable. That bottle right there, the Clase Azul, and like I told you, everything is 750 milliliters. So when we talk about pricing, we're talking about pricing for 750 milliliter bottles. Used to be $89. It was $89 for that Reposado. Okay. Now it's about $159.
So $30 difference between the silver and
it depends on where you go. I've seen it as high as like $169, but I'm going to give you an average price, people.
And you know what? I bet you that isn't that freaking packaging.
Some of it, and I will tell you this too, folks. Some of it is the bottle, because every one of the bottles, especially on the, I got a tequila burp here. Every one of the bottles on the Reposado, they're the porcelain bottles, and they're all hand painted. So yeah, there's a cost built into that. But where I said before, for many years, it averaged about $89 a bottle. Now it's way up there. And a lot of it, not just because of the bottle, but it's hard to say. It's hard to say this, and I don't want to rip on a company, but my personal opinion is they got really too big for themselves, and they got really popular, and they said, okay, with the popularity, now we can charge more. And it happened about 4 years ago, where it just really jumped up in price, because they really did get very, very popular. I used to be able to talk to people about Clase Azul, and they had no idea what I was talking about. And I could say, oh, I could describe the bottle, and they would still not understand it. And I could show them the bottle, and most of the time they still didn't get it. I've never seen that before. Now, if you say Clase Azul, a lot of people may not recognize the name. You say, oh, the pretty bottle. Oh, yeah. Okay.
The nose on this is just, I mean, I wish you guys, I wish we had a scratch and sniff screen, because you guys, the nose on this is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's toffee.
Yeah, you'll get, like I said,
oh my God, that
caramel,
unbelievable.
toffee, vanilla. You're going to get one or all of those in there. As far as a Reposado, and for a long time, Clase Azul was my favorite. The Reposado was my favorite. It was my all-time favorite tequila. It no longer is, because go ahead.
All-time favorite in all of, even the extra, or just in the Reposado?
Well, at the time, I wasn't a big fan of añejos.
Oh, really?
Because añejo, to me, and maybe it could have just been the couple of brands that I had tried, was a little too oaky for me. And so I used to go from Reposado straight to extra añejo, because for me it got oaky here, and then with the additional rest of the extra añejo, it started to settle down and mellow out a little bit more. And so that's for me, that's where I went with it. But now for us, we're like huge extra añejo guys. We love that additional age. We love all the additional flavoring and aromas that we pick up and all that stuff. So I'm just, it's not my favorite one anymore.
This just blows me away.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It is.
Wow. I'm glad you brought those in.
All right.
Okay. Cool.
So before we get to the next one, I want to share something with you folks. About 3 weeks ago, I had Adam Holland from Steve Jerry's band on the show. And we talked about pretty much like his whole career, and his first big band was Valentine. And if you watch the episode, if you watch that show, you know, he had mentioned that he had some swag he was going to send to me, and he was true to his word. Valentine actually had 2 CDs or 2 albums that they released. One was in 1990. I have that one, but in, I think it was 2008, they got back together and they released a second one. It was kind of by popular demand, is what how Adam was explaining it. There was a big demand for it in the UK. And so the guys, they got together, they toured the UK and Europe, and then there was just a big demand from their fans. They went back in the studio and released a second CD or second album, and that's it right there. It's called I don't have my glasses on. Let me put these on here, but it's called Soul Salvation, and it's all the original members, all the original members. And remember, if you saw that show, these guys have been friends for years and years, like since they were kids. Since they were kids, they've been friends. They're still friends to this day. If you haven't seen that show, go back and watch it or listen to it. Either way, it's so good. And Adam and I had such a great conversation. But he sent me this, and then he also sent me an Open Skies, which was the next band that they did. Sent me a T-shirt. Well, had we gone Friday Night Live, I would have wore it. But we're doing tequila tonight, people. It's where there it is. There it is right there. It's tequila time, and so I had to put my tequila T-shirt on. So next week I'll have my Open Skies T-shirt on, okay? Just for you out there. Okay. Let's see what else. Let's get now. We tried a Blanco, Plata, whatever. We tried Blancos. We only have one Reposado, so we tried that. I'll say this on the table over here: no añejos. We're skipping añejos. We're going right to extra añejos, and only because I think we used to have some 1921 añejo, because that's what you and Catherine would make your Cadillac margaritas with, and we don't have anymore. Yeah. Jim loves Catherine's Cadillac margaritas.
So all the rest of those are extras, huh?
They're all extra añejos, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's get into these. I'm gonna get 2 bottles here. Time out because I'm stepping away from the microphone really quick. I'm away from it, but I'm gonna show you these. Okay, I'm gonna show you these 2 here. 2 bottles, same shape. Pretty much the same bottle. One's like a special edition. Actually, it's actually a different brand. Same tequila. This one I bought in Ensenada a couple years ago. It's called Código 1316. It's an extra añejo. It's delicious, as you're going to find out in just a moment. Let me set this one. It's such a cool bottle too. Let me see if I can get it closer to the camera, because it's all like skulls and bones on the outside here. So it's really, really cool. It's right. Yeah.
Watch out.
Yeah. Can you see? I know I'm probably going to knock my microphone over.
I don't care about the mic. I'm worried about the bottle.
Oh, I got that. Can you see those skulls right there?
Yes.
All right. All right. Oh. So now this one here, like I said, same bottle, same tequila. This one is called Dinastia Real. And the difference is the Código 1316 you buy in Mexico. In the United States, it's this name, it's this brand, okay? So that's what it is.
We got that at Ramirez, right? Is that one of the ones
we did? We did get this at Ramirez Liquor.
I bought that at Ramirez. Yeah.
We got this for the
No, you bought a bottle, we tasted it, and then I bought a bottle as a backup.
Are you sure? No.
No,
you sure?
Look how much is out of there. It's only had 1 shot.
Oh, okay. All right. There's some things that I don't remember that Jim does. Okay. So this is an extra añejo, which means extra age. For añejo, it has to be between a year and 3 years. Okay. Over 3 years is extra age, extra añejo. Okay. And these generally are going about 5 years on these ones here that we're going to be tasting tonight for you, just for you, not for us. Are you kidding? Not for us, for you guys out there. All right.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. What's really cool is, see that top?
Shot glass.
That's got a nice little shot right there in the top. So when you finish the bottle, you pull this rubber cork off and down the hatch it goes. Really, really, really. I mean, your glass there, please, brother. Thank you. And you have to stop letting me take up all the airwaves. Come on. And this is Jim's bottle. Jim brought this one over only because I told him to, and then I realized I had one. So, I know I didn't pour. What's the matter with me? Oh my gosh.
So this one,
yeah,
I do get vanillas right up front.
Yeah.
Oh man, this is.
I'm gonna set this one right here.
So again, I hated tequila because all I was used to drinking was the inferior shit.
Yeah.
And he would go on and on about how much he loves tequila, blah, 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 blah. Just like, okay, whatever. And then we went to a family tasting for my birthday, right?
Yes, it was for your birthday.
It was somebody else's birthday.
Darren's birthday.
Darren's birthday.
Yeah, yeah.
And we did that, and I went ahead and started tasting the stuff that was non-traditional, out of my wheelhouse that I was used to, the yucky stuff. And
the yucky stuff.
Yeah. And I just, because I'm a bourbon guy and I'm used to all these little nuances and stuff that bourbon or whiskeys, I should say, offer up. I started picking them up in these añejos, and I never had a reposado before, so that was like, okay, I'm really shocked at that. So then we did that, and it changed my mind on tequilas, and then we had a tasting here. I think that was the third one. Or no, that was the second tequila tasting.
I think so.
Here.
Yeah.
And we went to Ramirez, bought some different
you ones. And I loaded up.
bought some different ones.
Yeah.
And then came back here and we did a blind, correct?
Everything was blind. All our tastings, obviously except for the stout tastings and the IPA tastings, that type of stuff, everything else is blind. Yeah.
So in other words, one person knows what's being served,
and that's the person who pours. That's it.
Yeah. And then you have a card that, it's got, here's the nose, here's the flavors you're picking up, and any other additional notes and whatnot. And so one of the bottles that we're going to be tasting was the winner of that. And then I had a friend, my friend Guy Resendez, he introduced me to this other one that we're going to taste tonight.
And we're going to save that one for last, just for that reason.
Right. And it would be good to do a little, maybe even do a side-by-side if we could, or no, we can't.
Yeah, we can side-by-side that with the winner of our tequila tasting.
Right.
Yeah, we'll do that.
And so it's amazing how these tequila guys now have gotten these master distillers has started picking up things from our side of the border with the bourbons and whatnot. I don't know if they had that stuff way back when. I got no idea, but I mean this stuff is just fantastic.
Yeah.
But I do get the vanilla right off the. right off the
And what
bat.
I've been doing while Jim is talking, I grabbed my phone, and I want to give you guys the name of an app, and it's called, oh, there I am. Yeah. It's called Tequila Matchmaker. And you just go on the App Store and download it. And what's really cool about it is you create your own profile. And if you look, here's the bottle. If you look on the tequila bottle, and it's probably with, well, I don't know about most spirits, but I do know with tequila, there's a number on here, and it's called a NOM number, NOM. So you look on the bottle somewhere on the label for NOM, and then there's a number after it, and it's usually a 4-digit number. And in this case, it's 1459. And what you do is you can take that NOM number and you go on Tequila Matchmaker and you create your profile and all that good stuff. And then you punch in, excuse me, you punch in that number. If you, let me see, I'm going to search. And you search it, and you can search by brand or you can search by NOM number. And what I say that number was, oh, wait, hang on. 1459, I believe. 1459. And it gives you the distillery that particular brand is made. It makes that brand, and then come on. Oh, and if you open up that distillery, you click on it, it'll show you all the different brands that particular distillery manufactures. And what's really cool about that is, so let's say you like this particular tequila. So now you look it up by the NOM number, and then you see the distillery and you see, oh, got this one here, got all these other brands. Like, here we go. Danasta Real. And where'd it go? Just want to, oh, there it is. Código 1316. So you can scroll and you say, okay, well, I like this extra añejo. So then you look up another brand, you see extra añejo on that one. And chances are you're going to like that one too, because they're probably going to be produced very similarly, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's a really, really cool little tool. And you can just go through it and start searching all kinds of stuff and find out all kinds of cool little gems, and maybe you find some other brands. Oh, wow, that's cool. I'm going to see where I can get that one and try different stuff out. Okay, now you got to taste it. I haven't tasted this yet, or not. I mean, not tonight, but that's just a real caramel aroma. Yeah.
So what I get out of this, there's this thing you do, like when you're tasting bourbons, you do what's called a Kentucky chew.
Oh.
You put a nice little bit in your mouth and you kind of swish it around your gums a little bit. And you'll feel it like pucker up your gums, and that's the tannins. And so the tannins are coming from the oak barrel. So it's got a little bit of tannins. I'm getting that. Nice. I love the vanilla nose.
Yeah.
It's a little bit spicy.
It's warm. It's not hot. I'm going to sneeze right now. Very professional. I don't have a cough button, sneeze button, none of that stuff. All right. I'm back. But that sweetness stays on your tongue. It stays right there the whole time, even through the warmth, through the little spiciness. That stuff goes away, and that sweetness just stays right there on your tongue. Really good. Really, really good. It's so good. So good. At the same time, when I bought the Código 1316 a couple years ago, I bought another extra añejo. It's called Maximo Imperio. Fabulous. Fabulous. However, way back when, if any of you watched the Fab and Big Sexy show or episode or listened to it before we when Fab and Sean were here at the house, and before we came into the studio, we sat down in the dining room and we had a couple drinks, and I remember Catherine opening up the Maximo, and instead of pulling up, she went this way with it, and she broke the end of the cap off in the bottle. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like 3/4 full. I'm like, okay, well, so much for that one. But otherwise, I would have brought that one up too. We'd have had that one as well. But this is really good stuff. But I've always enjoyed this one. This one's so good.
So this has got a little bit of a burn for me that just stays with it.
Okay. So for you, the burn stays, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. See, for me, I get it and it goes away. And what stays with me is that sweetness, that vanilla.
It's always there. Yeah.
Yeah. It just stays. So I really like it a lot. Really, really good stuff. And see, here's the thing. And Jim kind of described it really well. He never considered himself a tequila guy because he was thinking back to bad experiences that he had with it, probably in his high school or college days, or actually in Jim's case, probably junior high. But you know, when no one had, you're whatever, 17, 18 years old, and you're standing outside the liquor store and you've got $10 in your pocket and you have some guy buy it for you, and you can, he buys what you can afford. And at that point, everyone is drinking Cuervo. And I mentioned it before, Cuervo Especial. And yeah, if that's your tequila there, if that's what you have to go by, I would never drink tequila ever again. Yeah, of course. It's like some of the worst stuff ever created.
One of my earlier experiences.
Up on the microphone.
One of my earlier.
I got that. I just was trying to hand it. I pulled the top out of it, but I'm not going to put the top back in it yet. I'm going to wipe it off.
One of my first experiences with tequila. Here, we got napkins right here.
Well, no, I'm good. I don't have any on the table. It's fine.
With tequila I did exactly that. This girlfriend I had, she was a couple years older than me, and she went into the store and she bought a bottle of cheap tequila. Had a plastic little orange sombrero on it.
Oh my gosh.
And we didn't even wait to get out to the campsite. We decided to sit there in the parking lot of the B&C grocery store.
Oh my gosh.
And sit there and drink. Well, the cops, this is a town of 1,300 people.
This is back in Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cops rolled up and we went to jail.
No.
Love it. I love it. We had to go to court. Mine was for underage possession or something like that. And she got popped for, buying for a minor.
I've heard most of his stories. This one I have not.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. I just never forget that little plastic little sombrero.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it was like a cowboy hat or something.
I'm sure it was a sombrero.
You would see on some kind of salsa bottle or something.
Right.
Or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, that was exactly it. We were just sitting there, just slugging down the tequila in the parking lot at the B&C grocery store.
Okay. So before we get to the next one, now you all know I'm a huge Eddie Trunk guy. Love Eddie Trunk. Listen to him every day. So I'm stealing a little bit from Eddie, but I'm sharing a little bit of content with you as well. This week, Eddie did something on the show. Tuesday of this week, he had people call in with their top 5 favorite, not top 5 best or most influential or anything like that. Top 5 favorite American bands. So just in the US, okay? And then on Wednesday, of this week, he had people call in with your top 5 favorite international bands. So everywhere except the US. So I'm going to start. I'm going to give you my 5 US bands. And then in a little bit, I'll give you the international bands. Now, some of you may think I'm nuts. Some of you think I'm crazy. But there's no right or wrong because they're my favorites. But I did. I put 3 lists together, and then I put 1 list, then I revised it, and I was like, no, really, I think these are like my favorites here. I really do. They might be my favorites. So I'm going to go here. At number 5, I went with Styx. I love Styx. Styx is such a good band. Just such good musicianship, the songs, great live, all that good stuff. Still singing the original key, all that great stuff. And then I love this band, Angel. And if I hadn't seen Angel live a couple of times in the last year or so, I may not have included Angel. But man, they're one of my favorites. You guys know that. Then Cinderella. And I think you guys know I love me some Tom Kiefer. So if I love Tom Kiefer, who was the sole songwriter and singer of all those songs and the leader of Cinderella, well, there you go. Okay. So Cinderella's in the number 3 spot. In the number 2 spot should be no surprise, Kiss. And in the number 1 spot should be no surprise, Journey, of course. So those are like my top 5 favorite American bands. All right. We'll get into the international stuff a little down the road. What do you think of that, Jim?
I think
you think you're ready for more tequila?
Well, what I'd like to do is wipe off the top of that thing and put it in the bottle.
Oh, you don't want to keep the air exposed to it?
No.
All right, I'll wipe it down then. I got it right here.
I'm just thinking about if it gets knocked over.
Oh, I'm not worried about it getting knocked. I honestly am not. I grabbed the top at the same time. Don't get in front of the camera, you knucklehead. He is so unprofessional. You believe that?
Yep, that's me.
I know. Just walking.
When it comes to actual work.
Look at that.
All right.
All right. Okay. So next up is this one. And for a while, this one was my absolute favorite when it comes to extra añejos. And I don't know. We'll see how it goes after tonight. It may go back up to the number 1 spot and it may stay at number 2. I don't know. And I'll tell you why in a minute. I'll tell you why in a minute.
Oh, that's that same guy.
And the shape of that bottle looks pretty familiar, right? Yes, it is. Sin Rival, remember, without rival. Extra Añejo. This bottle here, price-wise, is about $109. So you have an extra añejo. Remember, extra age. Okay, which means they take a lot more care of this stuff than this one right here, Reposado, rested. Okay. If we're talking price, remember I said this is about $160, depending on where you buy it, but it's about $160, 159, whatever. $159.99, it's still $160. The price on that Clase Azul on average is equivalent to Don Julio 1942, which is an extra añejo. Okay. So just so you see how a company can say, oh yeah, well, we have the name, we're getting more and more popular, and we're just going to start jacking up the cost. And honestly, I think that's what's going on. But you know what? Look, Clase Azul, if you want, send some my way, and maybe I can change my opinion, right? You never know. So Sin Rival, extra añejo. Fabulous. Absolutely dynamite stuff. And the last time and only time Jim tasted this was at the tasting we had for his birthday. So he's having this again over a year, like a year and a half later. Whew. Let's see if your tongue remembers it. And I'll tell you what, did you rinse this? You had something in the bottom there.
Yeah, just water.
Okay.
I don't remember tasting that though.
Yeah. What was funny about this is that I hadn't had Sin Rival in over 10 years. And when I bought it for that tasting that we had, and remember, it was a blind tasting. So I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was what. But as soon as this one hit my lips, I knew exactly which one it was. I was like, oh, that's the Sin Rival. I love it that much. And when there was the big reveal at the end of it all, I was right. Okay, let's go here. What are you doing over there, Jim? Can you see that color there? Well, here.
And this is an extra?
This is an extra añejo. It's not quite as dark. Let me get over here. Not quite as dark in color as the Dinasta Real, but you can see right here. Let me hold that up. It's got some good, I'm right on top of the microphone now. It's got some really good color. And it is darker than the Clase Azul Reposado. Okay. It's got a real, just got a real pleasant smell to it. What's funny though is I actually, on the aroma, sticking my nose, and I have a big schnoz, everyone knows that. Sticking my nose in that glass, I smell the spice. I get the spice right away. What about you?
I get a big hit of like alcohol, but I don't get the pleasantness of the.
Okay.
There was another one that was really, I don't know, maybe it was the last one.
The Código or the Código is the Dinasta.
The scene.
Yeah. The Dinasta.
I wish we would have had a card with us.
Yeah.
So
I was trying to, it's so funny, folks. I just threw this show together last minute because I was like, well, I don't really have enough content to fill out a Friday Night Live. So we weren't going to do that this week. We'll be back at it next week. And it's so funny, too. Speaking of Friday Night Live, probably 10 minutes before Jim and I come into the studio, I'm getting text messages. No one ever texts me about Friday Night Live. Oh, my niece who watches a lot, my niece and nephew, Anita and Danny, texting, is Uncle Ben going, is he going live tonight? Is he going live tonight? Because I put out I only post and notify everybody if I'm going live. And then I had a friend of mine right after that, 5 minutes after that. I'm on YouTube. I'm looking for your live stream and I can't find it. Don't you go on at 7:00? That was about 7:15 our time. And I said, yeah, no, we're not doing it live this week. But anyway, yeah. So we just threw this together and I couldn't find, I save all my notes when it comes to our tastings. And I couldn't find my tequila notes only because I didn't have enough time to look for them.
This is good.
Yeah.
But it's not, I don't think it's, it's hard to say. I don't think it's as good as the Sin Rival. And I don't.
No, this is the Sin Rival.
I mean, not Sin Rival.
Dinasta Real?
The Dinasta Real.
Yeah.
Because I think that one, was that the one that I got all the big bold hit of vanilla and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the what do you call that other guy that we just had, the
Sin Rival. That's the one we're tasting right now.
No, the one before.
Dinasta Real.
Dinasta Real. That one I think is better than this for me.
Right.
For me.
And you know what? What I get out of the Sin Rival,
and it's different when you let it set for a little while too, which is understandable. That's all distillates, all spirits. Let it rest for a second.
Yeah. And usually it opens up, and so you get some changes in aroma and changes in flavor, especially if you swirl it around your glass a little bit.
It does, because now I'm starting to get a little bit of the nuances of the barrel.
Maybe a little flowery, a little vanilla-y, something like that.
Yeah.
Vanilla-y. Yeah. Did I just make up a word?
Whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I think between, and we've tried 2 extra añejos right now, Dinasta Real and Sin Rival, and we've got 2 more to go.
One thing I don't get on this that I got on the other one,
if
I'm not mistaken, that the previous one, I made a comment about I got a lot of tannins.
Yes. Yeah, you did.
Okay,
you did.
This does not have it. This is silkier. I would let this set for a little bit before I tasted it.
Okay.
I would let it totally different. I get a totally different nose now.
You know, for me, I think, and I love the flavor of it, and I do. And I think, to what you said though, just letting it sit for an extra like 2 minutes or so, minute to 2 minutes, makes a huge difference. And what I get right away though, it's a little spicier, not hot. It's more like peppery, people. But a little spicier, a little more peppery up front. And then as it settles in, it's really sweet.
So the pepper, and I can't say because I don't know what barrels they use.
Yeah.
So when you have, I know they're going to use a bourbon barrel. Okay.
Sorry.
When in bourbon, the more rye content you use in your mash bill, you're going to get peppery notes. You're going to get pepper. You're going to get a little bit of leather. So and they could use multiple barrels. There's no...
Yeah, that's true.
There's no law. They could use one barrel to do the first, whatever, 3 years or 2 years or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they could finish it in another barrel to get some different flavors. So these guys will do that kind of stuff. And so this peppery stuff, it may be that it's being finished in a rye or a bourbon barrel that's got, or even maybe they're making a rye. It could be.
Yeah.
But see, they don't tell us that on the
No,
bottle.
they don't. And you know what though, Jim, to what you were just saying, see, like, we've been the last, I don't know, 6-8 months, we've been really just diving into our barrel-aged stouts. And when we take, I mean, right on the label, it'll say, okay, or you research it or whatever, and it'll say, triple barrel aged, bourbon barrel aged, I should say, or whatever. So we know it's going through 3 different barrels. Sometimes it'll give us the time frame, 6 months in this, 8 months in this one, whatever. And usually the ones that we're drinking are anywhere between 20 months and 24 months.
It'll even give you the manufacturer of the bourbon.
Right. It's doing that, where
Buffalo
here,
Trace, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah.
will it, whatever. But here on the tequilas, it's not specific. And even on a Matchmaker, it doesn't get specific like that. And I'm assuming that if we were, if we took a tour of one of these distilleries, then we could probably get more of that information. Hey, how many, is it 1 barrel? Is it 2? How many barrels is it? And what is that aging process? So yeah. And then you could probably figure out, okay, well, it's getting this from this from that, this one from that, maybe.
I mean, that is good. It
Yeah.
is good. I'm yeah.
Right. No, it is. However, remember I said it used to be my favorite. And I know that taste like that.
Did I go get another glass? So if we want to do a back to back of the ones that we were talking about, we need one more glass.
You know what? We can pour the water out of these into that taster and use the rocks glasses if you want to.
Oh no.
Okay, all right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
You got material to fill up, right?
I got content here, not a lot, but I have some content. Okay, Jim's take. Yeah, she knows where they are. Okay. She knows where they are. So while Jim goes out and grabs a couple more tasting glasses, I'll go over my international, my top 5 international bands that I like, and just to repeat, I don't really need to repeat them, but I'll go over from 5 down to 1 was Styx, Angel, Cinderella, Kiss, and Journey, and remember that's just U.S. That's just U.S. And I just love those bands to pieces. I just love them to pieces. But now when we talk about international bands, and this was a little bit harder for me when I put this one together, but well, it was maybe like the tiny bit harder. That not much, because I think if you guys have listened or watched this podcast long enough, you know some of the bands that I lean towards and the ones that I like a lot and I talk about. And so when I give you this, it's probably not going to be any surprise. But at number 5 spot was Def Leppard. The number 4 spot, Aldo Nova. Yeah, just so fabulous. And I just found out last week, Aldo will be back in Vegas in November of this year. I'm going back. You know it. Can't wait for that one. In the number 3 spot was Loverboy. Should not be a surprise to any of you. Love that band. Just love that band. And remember, these are international bands, okay? The number 2 spot should be no surprise. Uriah Heep. Okay? Uriah Heep in the number 2 spot on my favorite international bands. Shouldn't be any surprise. And then number 1 on that list, again, shouldn't be any shock to anyone. Hello, brother. Is Foreigner. Yeah, Foreigner. Foreigner's an international band. Yeah, Lou Gramm is from New York, but not the rest of the band. Okay? Especially in their heyday. All right? And that's what we're talking about here. But so those are my top 5 international bands. Wasn't really hard to come by. I mean, maybe that hard, like I said, but not really hard at all. So, all right, James. So we are going to get into the last 2. So should we just pour them and go side by side? Okay. All right, let's do that. The first one.
We didn't have the.
Okay. She probably had to dig too far to get to the tasters.
There was a lot of digging.
Yeah, it's probably on a shelf somewhere.
Oh shit! Let me.
Okay. Is that your tequila or was it water?
That was water.
Oh, okay. So this one here, people, this one is called Cava, C-A-V-A, de Oro. Okay?
This was the one that won.
Get up on mic a little bit.
This was the one that won we had a tasting here.
Yeah.
This was the winner. And again, a blind tasting out of a lot of other ones.
This was the overall favorite. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this. When was it? About a week ago? Mm-hmm. For no special reason at all, I took a pour not a pour, but I took a little tiny drink of this.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other one I took a drink of? It was two of them. Now I can't remember the other one. And I was like, oh, it didn't taste like I remembered. So I'm going to just pour it and let it sit. Okay. And because
That's been sitting for a while.
Well, and it could be that. It could be because this bottle has been open for a year and a half now, even though it's had the cork on it, but it's been open and
there's a lot of oxygen inside.
Sure. So it could be part of the reason, because this one here, this Cava de Oro, and this is they make an extra añejo that's just in a clear bottle. This is the extra añejo black bottle. What is it? Let me see what it says.
It doesn't say any difference. There's no differentiating marker.
No, it just says extra añejo or extra. It's all in black, so I'm trying to. It says tequila extra aged añejo. So, okay, same thing. So it's no different than the clear bottle, except the price. I don't know why this black bottle seems to be a little bit less expensive than the clear bottle. Why that is, I have no idea. This one here will run you about $99. So you can see right now from what we're talking about here, price wise and all this, you can get some absolutely dynamite tequilas for not that much money, considering that you're getting first rate. He's not going to wait.
So
you're going to get a first rate tequila and not pay through the nose like you are on this bottle right here that doesn't have nearly the age that this one does.
So I paid $99 at Ramirez for this, but at Total Wines and More,
that is true,
it was $70.
They had it on special. They had it on special for $69.99. Yeah, and they've had it on special for quite a while.
So there's that.
Because I think their clear bottle was like $99, but you're getting a premium tequila. I mean, a premium tequila, and you're not breaking the bank. And that's kind of the point of all this. And of course, we want to share tequila with you because, hey, like I said, it's middle of summer, people. Okay. It's middle of summer. You're going to have your barbecues, your parties, all that good stuff. And you want to know what kind of special drink to have with your buddies or your family or whatever.
These are not shooters. These are sit down and sip.
No.
Yeah. If you want to shoot, get some rock gut.
Yeah, no. If somebody starts shooting this stuff, shoot them. Yeah, it's just no. None of this stuff is for shots.
You did a big pour there.
Did I really?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Okay.
Maybe
yeah,
not.
because I wasn't trying to. But what we're gonna do here is, because Jim talked to me about this last tequila we're gonna break out. So we're gonna do a side by side. It's called Addictivo.
Addictive.
Okay. Adictivo. I know the brand. I know the bottle. I have never tried it. And Jim had asked me, this is probably a few months back. You asked, hey, have you tried this one here? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, no, I've heard of it, but I've never tried it. And you were like, oh my gosh. I was at a tasting and we tried it. And man, I think it might kill Cava de Oro is what you said.
I said, I think it's better because we actually tasted it. And yeah.
Now let me try something here. Okay. Let me see something here. I'm going to open up Tequila Matchmaker. Let me get the nom number off of this really quick before you open. And this is an unopened bottle. Jim brought this over and we are cracking this sucker open for the first time. It's not the same nom number, so it's a different nom number. 1477.
The fuck?
Okay. Let's see what else is manufactured at this facility that I've heard of anyway. Ha ha! Wouldn't you know it? You got it as soon as you open it up. Got it. And another cap that's got a shot in it.
Yeah.
Cava de Oro, Adictivo. Same distillery. Same distillery, folks. So there's probably no question that we're going to like it, and they might just be very, very similar in flavor, if not exactly the same.
Okay.
So I'm looking that up. Okay. Oh, yeah. You want to pour me a little bit there?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, shit.
Got my tequila books out here, too. Let's see. What else is there? Oh, Mañana. Wow, they make Mañana there. Holy cow. You trying to get me loaded?
I don't know. Okay, whatever.
That's okay. You know what I see right away, though?
The color.
Adictivo is darker. It's darker, yeah. So it probably has just a little bit more age on it, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
probably sitting in that barrel a little bit longer. Mañana tequila, and that's a good one. That's a good one. I like that one. That's why I called that one out. There's a bunch that I haven't really heard of.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I wish I had a small glass like that one. I'm gonna
You want to trade? Right here.
No.
I haven't.
No.
Okay.
No, that's good. I gotta drive.
Hang on, let me write this down. We got Sin Rival, we did, then we've got Cava. I'm just writing Cava de Oro. That's the extra. Yeah.
So
go ahead.
For instance, even though the manufacturer is the same,
yeah,
that's like saying the people that make Buffalo Trace, that means that they also make Pappy now. Pappy Van Winkle. That's like saying that they're going to be tasting the same.
Well, they're going to have different recipes.
Everybody's got different mash bills. They got different processing parameters.
Yeah.
And like Ben pointed out, you look at these colors. Can you hold?
I'm going to go ahead and hold that back there. The one in my left hand right here, and I'm tapping the glass with my finger, that is the Cava de Oro. Mm-hmm. This one right here that I'm lifting up in my right hand, that's the Adictivo. So I don't know if you can, you should, you should be able behind that white backdrop.
You can see it. Yeah, you can see it.
You can definitely see the difference in color. Little bit different. To me, when I see the color, I see the Cava de Oro and I think to myself, because it's lighter in color, I'm thinking more spice or more heat. And I'm thinking on the Adictivo, the darker color, I'm thinking, oh, that is like way more mellow.
So in theory, it should. Okay, so here's the deal.
Yeah.
It's pulled more color out.
Yeah.
So there's a couple things that could happen. You get more vanilla. You get more.
Get up on mic just a little bit.
More vanilla, more caramel.
Yeah.
Also, you could get more oak. So the tannins could be more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. That's true, because it is going to pull from the barrel.
It just depends on what they've done.
Right.
They could also do a secondary, like the secondary dump, and the secondary barrel that they put it in has got a char. The char will pull. You won't get the vanillas and the caramels, but the char is going to add color and some other things to it.
Possibly a smokiness too, I'm sure. No smoky.
No.
Okay, all right.
No.
What do you think adds the smokiness to something?
Smoky is if you. There's not too much smokiness in bourbon. You're talking Scotch,
and there really isn't in tequila, but
yeah. So let's.
Okay, so you want to try Cava de Oro?
So first? What I want you to do,
is
I want you to tell me. One of the things I noticed was the amount of agave that I smelled, and I want you to tell me. Just see if you pick up the smell of agave more in one than the other.
Okay, and these have been sitting now for a couple minutes, so that's good. We've been letting them air out, open up a little bit. Okay. I've got my nose in the glass of the Cava de Oro. Okay, we're going to take that one first.
Do this.
I do smell the agave in that one though. I do. I don't smell the agave in this one at all.
Yippers?
At all. I mean, I won't say at all, but like,
so the one that he doesn't smell the agave in is the Adictivo, and that's the same thing that I got.
Yeah, let's put it this way: if the smell that I get on a scale of 1 to 10 on the Cava de Oro is like a 6, it's like a 1 on the Adictivo. It's there, but so slight. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Actually, I still had some of that Cava de Oro in my nose before I took this one. You know, we should have busted out some coffee beans. That's what we used to do we usually use those to cleanse our noses. We'll stick our nose in a cup of coffee beans. Oh yeah, this one really smells quite sweet. So, okay, so let's taste the Cava de Oro. Right here to you folks. Cheers. Still very sweet. Still very sweet on the front. You know what's funny? Good. What I get though, sweet right out of the gate, and it's still lingering. It is so sweet, it's still lingering, but you get the spice and a little bit of heat on the backside of it. You don't get it up front, you get it on the backside.
Yep.
Yeah. But I will say this, tastes better tonight than it did a week ago when I had that little drink. I don't remember what I was doing.
Okay, so now
that's good. Let me take a sip of water.
So God dang, this is so good.
Yeah. No, that Cava de Oro is really just, man.
You know what I want?
It is dynamite.
I want to do.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
I'll do a taste of this, and then I'm gonna do a Kentucky Chew.
That's what I did on the Cava de Oro. I let it go, and I just.
Did you get any tannins in your gums?
I just got sweetness and just that little spice, that little warmth on the back end of it.
So, no tannins at all. You saw me. I just like I was gargling like with mouthwash.
You know what, Jim? And the Adictivo. It's like, man, I don't even know how to describe it. It is sweet through and through.
Yep.
And and on a spice or a heat level, it's like a 1.
And it's very subdued, comes in on the back end and then goes away.
Yeah, it's just wow. You know, it's funny. You were right. You were like, "Hey, dude, I think you need to try this one." And I think, this one's going to rock your world. I think you're going to like this one better than the Cava de Oro. And Jim, I think you were right, man. I think you were dead on. Man. That is really, really, I mean, wow. That is some fabulous stuff. And folks, we're talking about the one that was the overall winner last year at our tequila tasting, the Cava de Oro. That was our overall winner. And now we're bringing in Adictivo that none of us have had before. And now, of course, Jim did. And he's introduced it to me tonight. And I'm just, man, I'm like, yeah, it's almost beyond words.
So each one has got their own. This is why I wanted you to do a back-to-back, side by side, I should say.
Yeah. See, I'm getting that spice and heat in my gums from doing that Kentucky Chew and swishing that Cava de Oro around. And it is so delicious. It truly is, people.
I get more of the tannins in this.
But man, you know, it's just wow. What's weird is before we had done our tasting, I don't know, whenever it was, because like I said, we've done a couple, 3 of these tequila tastings, and Sin Rival was my favorite extra añejo, and then it was Cava de Oro, and now Jim and I, and it's not blind or anything, but it's just by pure taste. And Jim warned me. He told me, dude, I think you're gonna like this one better. And he just he called it.
My friend Guy, he told me, he goes,
"You don't have any friends."
he said he's not a tequila drinker. Mm-hmm. So when he called me, and he had already tasted the Cava de Oro.
Okay, yeah, that's right. Because I know,
and he bought this, and he goes, man, I forget who introduced this to him, but he goes, this is really good. So I brought he had the Adictivo, mm-hmm. and I had the Cava de Oro, and I brought it over. We sat down and did a little side by side.
Yeah.
The first thing that I noticed that was I thought the Cava de Oro had a little bit more agave on the nose.
Yeah.
And
which we both called that. We both smelled it.
And then this, I just tasted it, and I was like, there's a lot of good things going on. And so then I went and found a bottle. I think I bought that at Total Wines and More.
Yeah. What now? I don't know this one. So what's your average cost on this one here?
I think I paid $70, maybe more. Maybe I paid $90 for that.
Wow. See, there you go, people.
I can't remember. I wanted to look it up on my phone.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. Well, okay, but let's call it $100. You probably didn't pay more than $100 for it, right?
No.
Okay. All right. So let's just call it $100 just for,
$14.77 now.
It's same as the Cava de Oro, same distillery. So you can see if you like one, that's what's really cool about this tequila. I'm showing you a blank phone.
The app.
That's what's really cool about Tequila Matchmaker app is that you can find out where these tequilas come from, and like I said, if you like this one, check it out. You may like this one over here, and we love the Cava de Oro, but boy, oh boy, I'm blown away by Adictivo.
So
blown away.
Again, these are not shooters. Don't sit down and sit and just sit.
Yep.
Gab with some friends, around your little fire or whatnot.
Yep. Absolutely.
With your special person that's in your life, whatever, or even by yourself.
Whatever. I think a lot of people would consider like bourbon to be more of a cold weather
it is
spirit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think tequila could be that too, but you more equate tequila with warmer weather because it's from Mexico. It's from a tropical climate. People mix it in margaritas and they drink it, in the summertime and all that. And yes, you can do all that. But to what Jim said, do not shoot this stuff. Okay? This is not for shots.
This has been crafted. I mean,
any of these tequilas that we have had tonight,
like hanging a Van Gogh in your bathroom.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Or Picasso on your front porch or something like that, on your garage door. Yeah. But even, to be honest, even the 2 Blancos that we tried, the Clase Azul Plata, the Sin Rival Silver, all of the tequilas that we have tasted tonight here and have spoken to you about, these are all for just sitting back. If you want it cold, great. Throw a big old giant cube in there, one that's not going to melt really quick, and just sit back and enjoy it. But you know what, folks? And I'll tell you, I know what Jim's going to say too, but that's me. I was like, "Oh, no, I gotta have my stuff cold. I gotta have my stuff cold." But Jim pointed out to me a while back, I don't know, probably a year or so ago, "Hey, let it warm up a little bit. Let it warm up, and you'll really see a difference in smell, aroma, flavor, all that stuff." And yeah, and certainly you want it at room temperature if you are tasting like what we're doing tonight. But, look, if you just, like I said, if you got to have it cold, drop a big old giant cube in that so it doesn't melt real quick and sit back, like Jim said, sit on your porch, your patio, by your pool, whatever, and just sip away. It is so, so good.
Yeah, I think if anybody buys any of these, I think this is a very good starting point. What we've just shown.
I think we gave some people we gave them some really good.
That's
good,
not to say that
stuff.
There's others, but
there's about 1 billion tequilas out there. We can only try so many,
Yeah. These guys have really crafted. I mean, what I think is going on, I think, and I can't say because I was never really a tequila person.
Yeah.
I think that there's been some sharing of knowledge between the bourbon distillers and the tequila manufacturers.
You know what? I would agree with you on that because, obviously we know tequila's been around for hundreds of years. It's like I mentioned it earlier. It's the wine. It's like it's the wine of Mexico, and I want you out there to celebrate it as such. Tequila gets such a bad rap because people equate it to doing shots, getting hammered, passing out, waking up in the morning with the worst hangover in the world, and you're sick and all that kind of crap. And that's not what it's about. You saw what we did. We weren't here to get drunk. We're not here to get hammered. We're here to do some tasting, to explain it to you, to share it with you, and to give you to impart our knowledge of what we have. And I'm not saying we are total professionals on this, but we do. We really take in this stuff like we do with our barrel aged stouts. And I'll tell you what, everyone knows that Jim is the bearded. What did Chris call it? The
bearded bourbon. No. I don't know. Whatever.
He called you the I don't know, the whatever it was, but he talked about your beard and how knowledgeable you were.
So one of the things that's really interesting, as opposed to bourbons, bourbons will be anywhere from 80 or 40% ABV all the way up to considerably higher. So when you want to compare a bourbon tit for tat, sometimes you're not going to be able to do that because the bourbon that you're trying to compare has got a different amount of alcohol in it.
Right.
If you look at these tequilas, these guys have knocked these all down to 40% ABV, which is 80 proof.
They're usually on the tequilas. I don't I've never seen anything over 40.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything over 40%.
Yep.
And that's in the United States. In Mexico, if you buy the stuff that's sold solely in Mexico or imported, it's usually somewhere between 36 and 38%.
Oh, really?
So it's a little milder. It's a little bit higher. It's like 2 to 4% higher in alcohol content in the United States than it is in Mexico. If you buy, because you can buy all this stuff that you buy in the United States, you buy it in Mexico as well. But if you buy the stuff solely for Mexico, generally it's a couple of points less on the alcohol content.
So it should be easier to compare.
Yeah.
Maestro, what's that? Maestro Tequila.
What's that?
Oh, the master distiller, the master tequila distiller. I'm just reading the Spanish, the Mexican. That's that guy right there.
Yeah, oh wow, I can't read the last name. It looks like it's like Geldado. And he says, "Si hoy muero y."
Yeah.
I can't read that word.
Anyway,
I'm a ser tequilero.
Right.
Volvería a ser. Whatever that is, okay?
To make. Okay. So he's a tequila maker.
Yeah.
So
well, he did a good job.
Yeah, he did. It's really good.
He definitely did that. Yeah, that one. You really did. You you were spot on that one, Jim. You really were. And because you know what it is that I look for, flavor wise and all that stuff, you hit it on the mark. Yeah. You were not wrong at all. Wow. So what
do we got?
1, 2, 3, 4. We drank 7 tequilas tonight, Jim.
Right, but I just had little teeny pieces.
I know. We're okay. We're okay. He's got to drive home a whole like mile and a half away. I get to walk across the hall and fall down in my bed if I want to. But I'm okay. I'm good. But to go over these one last time, and I'll try to do it quickly because we are really heavy in time. Clase Azul Plata. That was the first one that we tried. Dynamite.
My favorite over the other one, and Ben's the other way around.
Yeah. No, not necessarily. No, I could take either one of them, and I'm not sure which way I lean. But Sin Rival, which it's the only one I haven't had of Sin Rival is I haven't had their Reposado or their Anejo. I've only had the silver and the extra Anejo. So I haven't had the other two yet. But the Sin Rival Silver, these are just if you really like that agave flavor and you don't like a lot of age and you pretty much want it straight out of the distilled. I mean, you want it just distilled and straight into the bottle, no age at all. That's the way to go. And those are fabulous. And like I said before, you can sip those ones all day and night.
Yeah, those are good sippers.
Yeah, definitely. And then we went to
then you went to the Reposado.
Oh no, I'm sorry. We went. I skipped it. Then we went to Clase Azul Reposado.
That was very good.
And Jim was blown away by this one.
Yeah.
Jim was blown away by this one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Another fabulous tequila. Personally, overpriced.
Yep.
But it doesn't take away from the quality of it.
Yep.
Okay. Then we went straight to some extra añejos, and we went to Dinastia Real, which we thought was dynamite. I'm going to say dynamite, fabulous a lot. Yeah.
From what I remember, that had a really good toffee caramel aroma, a little bit spicy.
Yeah.
Yep. That probably was not.
Then we went to Sin Rival Extra Añejo. Very sweet, but more spicy or peppery on the front side of it, and then it mellows out a little bit. It's got a good warmth to it. Really, really good. None of these, honestly, other than the Clase Azul, none of these are overpriced at all. Mm-hmm. They're so right in line price wise. They're so affordable. They're so they're just not, like these manufacturers, these distilleries, they're not taking advantage of you. So good.
Yeah.
Then we went to the Cava de Oro, the black bottle. Okay. The extra añejo. That was our winner a year and a half ago. Great stuff. But as we said, for our nose, a little heavier on the agave, on the aroma, not on the taste, but on the aroma.
Right.
And then this one here, and we saved it for last only because I hadn't tried it before. And there's that saying, you save the best for last. Well, just by chance we did.
Yeah.
We did. The
yummy stuff.
The Adictivo. All of these fabulous for sipping. That's all you want to do. Sit back with your buddies, with your family, with your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, your significant other, whatever. And just sit back and enjoy it. And man, oh man, you're not going to be sorry. This was fun, Jim.
Yeah.
This was fun. This was good.
He called me up like
I know what, like
at noontime or
I know.
whatever. I don't know.
I know.
Hey, you want to do a show tonight?
Hey, let's do a tequila tasting. What do you say?
Okay.
So for last minute, we did okay, huh?
Yeah.
We did all right. Listen, I hope that this was really informative for everyone out there. Hope we gave you some good information. You've got all the brands. I'll put the brands in the show description, so you'll have all that to go on as well if you're not able to write stuff down. Okay. We're gonna let you go because doing all this tasting, we took up a lot of time, but I hope it was informative for you, and I hope you enjoyed it all. And I can't thank Jim enough. Yeah, he was available last minute, and that was great. You know, I like it when we're able to do our barrel-aged stouts or whatever it is, because he's just such a wealth of knowledge on this. And I think I know a lot, especially when it comes to tequila. But this guy right here, no, man, he's the what is it? The bearded bourbon, or whatever it is. He's the bearded guy of knowledge, whatever you want to call it. Okay, he really is. Yeah. so anyway, we'll wrap it up right here, folks. As you know, this program is always available, and it's available on multiple podcast platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and yes, I'm jazzed about it. iHeart. I am, not because it's iHeart, but it's just another large platform. So I'm jazzed about that. And I'm just hoping to reach more people with it. Or just search the Ben Maynard program, and you have multiple options to choose from. If you want to steer your way to Buzzsprout, where my website is, that's awesome, and I appreciate it very much. Or if you just like looking at my pretty face or Jim's pretty face over there, and you can't resist, and you're watching on YouTube, then please subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. And look, if you want, we gave you a lot of stuff here tonight. So if you want to leave some comments on the tequila, you even have questions.
Or if you taste something and you disagree or agree.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever it is, leave it in the comments. All right. And I'll even share them with Jim, and we'll get back to you on stuff. All right. We will definitely reply to this stuff.
Remember back in the 70s, the unknown comment, he wore that paper bag.
Oh yeah.
That's what I'm going to wear. That's what I'm going to wear the next time. I'm going to wear the paper bag. I'm going to be the unknown bag.
All right. Yeah. All right. And last but not least, folks, just follow me on Instagram, Ben Maynard Program, all one word. Okay. Listen, this is it. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a long show, but it was very informative, and it was a lot of fun having Brother Jim here. Thanks for being here. This is the Ben Maynard Program. Tell a friend.